trees older than memory, immune to fire, disease, and parasites, attempting to grow to reach the stars, with gravity being the only force hindering them from reaching celestial heights. Giants protruding from the earth that have been here long before us and will remain when we are all long gone. One of the true wonders of nature. People from all over the world come to admire their size and beauty, and all day, every day, the trees are stuck looking at this.
I feel super tiny right now. I feel like I'm giving all these trees the up down. I'm like, gonna need to see a chiropractor after this.
Welcome to Sequoia National Park, located in the southern portion of the Sierra Nevada mountain range in California. Home to some of the largest and oldest trees in the world, and home to the biggest tree by volume on the entire planet. Today, as we explore this incredibly old forest, we will discuss how the sequoia trees are seemingly immune to destructive forces that normally take down trees. And we will also discuss how small and insignificant one feels, as one does when you are in a forest that has trees a few thousand years old, and you're a human that only lives an average of 80 years old or so.
So I know it's called giant forest, but I really wasn't expecting it to be this giant. It's massive.
The first tree I wanted to see, of course, was the largest tree on the planet, by volume being about 52,500 cubic feet, if that means anything to the science people out there. Normally, I'm a save the best for last type of girl, but I had a weird sense of urgency, or ants in the pants you might say, to see this tree with my own 4 eyes. It did not disappoint. The General Sherman tree is 275 feet tall.
So the General Sherman tree is 36.5 feet wide. I haven't measured myself recently. I think that I'm less than a foot wide. Maybe a foot. Am I widest? I don't know. You don't really measure how wide you are.
I'm sitting here editing this and realize that I literally have a tape measure, and we're gonna measure how wide I am. Here? Does that look right? 16 inches, 16 and a half. That's that.
That little tree right there. It's probably like, nobody ever comes to see me. Everyone always wants to see my big brother. Anyone who has siblings understands.
And this must be one of the branches that have fallen.
And remember everyone, I'm 5 foot 9 inches tall for your reference.
Now you would think seeing the largest tree first would ruin the rest of the park experience, but that could not have been further from the truth. There are interwoven trails all through the forest that you walk by and sometimes through these giants, nearly the same size, but with other unique features to them. All I'm saying is the largest tree on the planet was cool, but it was only the beginning of this journey.
So cool. One more time. Trees have officially been ruined for me. I'm gonna be thinking of these. This is probably the tops that fell off. I don't even know how to try to record these things. Oh, good. My heart is so happy. One more time. All right. I'm done. One more time. Have I mentioned how small I feel yet? This is so cool.
Sequoia trees contain certain properties in their bark that acts as bug repellent for many of the parasitic bugs and fungi that normally are destructive to other trees. This prevents them from dying from insect invasion. Although recently there has been a new type of beetle that has worked its way into the bark of these trees, but the science is still pretty young with that, so I'm not going to speak to that.
These two are growing right next to each other. How's that possible? Do you think that they're lovers? Eternal lovers, thousands of years together.
You are the only
The trees have a better love life than me. You guys don't have to rub it in, okay? Eternal love. Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there. You were too small. Is that even the biggest tree in the park? There's a room in the room tree. I think that's why they named it that.
The bark itself is actually pretty spongy to the touch, fibrous and around 2 feet thick. The makeup of their bark makes it a poor heat conductor and makes them resistant to extreme flame damage in the smaller forest fires. So, are these trees immortal? The answer is yes, basically. The thing that primarily takes them down is the fact that their root system is really shallow for trees so large. When the soil gets too wet, the roots become no longer solidly rooted, and wind combined with the heavy weight of the trees will send them toppling over. Otherwise, they live up to 3,300 years old when not met with extreme conditions, and it's really their weight that takes them down.
Don't come in. I'm literally standing inside of a sequoia tree. This is the coolest thing I've ever done. Kinda don't want to leave. I've been looking for a home base. It is room tree, so there's room. Just walked into a tree that's probably at least 1,000 years old. What is my life coming to? I don't know how this park is gonna top that one. Guys, there's literally a tree growing on top of this dead tree. Then on top of it, there's some trees growing. This is what we're dealing with, people. So I keep on hearing woodpeckers going at it, and these guys aren't just trying to build houses, they're building mansions in these ginormous sequoias. They're like, we got all the room. Got like conjoined twins here.
The biggest threats to sequoia trees are these new beetles that I mentioned that have worked their way into the trees, but also drought. Sequoias naturally require a lot of water to supply to their entire massive structure. There was a large drought in the lower Sierra Nevada mountain range from 2012 to about 2016, where scientists observed deadly damage done to the sequoias by drought. Keep in mind, these trees have survived thousands of years, and so you know it must have been serious for these trees to now die under these current elongated drought conditions.
My neck and my cheeks are starting to hurt from the smiling and the looking up. Can't even get the whole base of the tree in one shot with my hand outstretched. Words can't describe.
Now, on your visit, don't worry about trying to track down these specific sequoias I saw in this footage, because there were tons of sequoias with holes in the middle of their trunks to walk through, or other surprising unique features to them. Absurd sentence to say, I know. But the giant forest was the gift that just kept on giving. And these giants were built to survive just about anything, including massive holes in their trunks, apparently.
What? I just walked through a tree. Well, I could cross that off the bucket list I didn't know I have. Walk through a tree. It doesn't make any sense. That is crazy. Easiest log balancing act you'll ever do is on a ginormous sequoia tree. It's like walking across a very large bridge. I keep waiting for it to get old, and it's not getting old. I've seen like 100 of these now, and I'm too short to see. So you guys have to tell me if you see anything. Is it a bathtub? Are there bears in there? What's going on? There is a water pool in there. That's so cool. Whoa! I didn't know there were gonna be all these little like additives. I mean, giant trees is good enough for me, but there's like giant trees with extra stuff. It's like, there's only so much your brain can handle. Too much awesomeness in one day. That's a real big one. Whoo-wee. Sorry, I'm not really using a variety of adjectives today. I just looked at the footage and I'm glad I look as absurdly tiny as I feel. It's very proportionate. Did they name this a Washington tree because it's old and no longer alive? Because that's kind of mean. I mean, it is also massive and very monumental, but it's no longer alive. I guess I could see the name. Unless this is the wrong tree I'm looking at, in which case I'm so sorry. And you could really lose yourself out here, looking at trees that have seen so many lifetimes, and human lifetimes anyways, not tree lifetimes, clearly. We're still going. But, I don't know, it's just humbling. Realize how tiny and insignificant you are in a forest like this. It's nice. You could just be with the trees. It's like a whole corridor in here. You could go through that way, or you could go through that way. Whatever way you want to go through the tree, you have options. This tree has a river flowing through its trunk. Oh, a little creek, but still, so cool. This is the first time I've ever seen a bear.
I mean, the California state flag has a bear on it, so it only makes sense that I saw my first bear here. The odd thing was, this was an extremely popular paved trail located right next to the visitor center. There were tons of people on the trail making noise, and there in the distance, still viewable from the trail, was this bear, looking like it was eating something. I thought if I ever saw a bear, it would be in a less populated area, but this bear did not seem concerned with our presence. Kinda scary.
It's like really far away, but still. There's a lot of other people on the trail too, so. That was kind of terrifying.